Hello, my name is Einecath, and before I begin Einecath Part 5, I did want to make a correction. I accidentally, last episode, conjugated the verb gutonom, which means to know, into the third person animated plural form actually as the inanimate form. So instead of if, it is going to be ill. And then I also added some of the reductions to it. So you see, id becomes just guton, nid becomes just gutond, and then gutonos just becomes gutons. Anyway, besides that, here is Einecath Part 5. This is going to go over sentence structure. So the basic word order of Einecath is VOS for intransitive clauses or sentences. It is just VO, but the O just means that the object would be treated like an object, even though it is still just using the intransitive verb. That's just how it appears when translated to English, though the actual meaning would be what the subject is. And then for transitive sentences, it is VOS, and then for ditransitive clauses or sentences, it is VOS, and then the direct object in the middle, but then the indirect object, so the dative, taking the dative instrumental case but being in the dative case at the very end of the sentence. And then of course, the object in the middle, the direct object, is accusative if a noun, or oblique if a pronoun. Then for the expanded form of an entire transitive or ditransitive sentence, you first take the location and the time, and then the verb, then the direct object, taking the accusative form if noun, or oblique if a pronoun, then the subject of the sentence, which is oblique if noun, or nominative if pronoun, then the indirect objects, dative instrumental, then what would be taking the instrumental case at the end of a sentence, so using something to give something to someone, or using something to do something, stuff like that. Then that this typically is an inanimate noun, whereas all the other ones are animate or something, or would be animate. So you typically would know from the context, but you do put it at the end of the sentence. And then and then note I did put plus preposition near the some of the external parts of the sentence, because that will be important later. Putting the preposition, depending on the actual adposition, either before or after the noun, possibly circumposition. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but they will be included in each part of these, so location, time, and then the instrumental at the end, and then maybe something else in between. And then for the copula, the infinitive is laudum, and then for a sentence or clause that uses the copula, you'd say you'd use both the oblique cases of each of the subject and the object, or of the two nouns or pronouns in general. So you still order them like you would in English. Not like you would in English, but take the subject in English, put that at the end, the object, put it before it. So for I am a dog, you'd use the oblique form of each. So with the pronouns, it is a shin for I, and then for the oblique in the noun, oron, which means dog, that would just be the standard form, because there is just oblique and then accusative, dative instrumental, and all that. So I am a dog, lar ka oron shin. And then something else, just for the end of this video, at the end of a sentence, or basically where you put the subject in the sentence, that's what you also capitalize that, including whatever is at the beginning of a sentence. You also capitalize the subject, what would be the nominative case for a noun, or the oblique but still the subject of a sentence for a noun. the nominative form for pronoun, oblique for a standard regular noun, and then yeah, that's it for Einecath Part 5.